We are saying goodbye to the Ford Bronco. So let's talk about why we're saying goodbye to the Ford Bronco, what we loved about the Ford Bronco, and what we disliked about the Ford Bronco, the problems we had, and really the things that were just really delightful about the Ford Bronco. So let's jump right in. I'm Johnny from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. Please hit like, subscribe, and do turn bell notifications on. Otherwise, this will likely be the only time that you get suggested our content. So we've owned this now for 15 months, almost 16 months. We'll give you the lowdown on the 2023 Ford Bronco. So if you're thinking about getting a used Bronco or a new Bronco, watch this video to find out everything you're gonna love and everything you're gonna hate about the Ford Bronco. So the wife and I have both absolutely loved the styling of the Ford Bronco, the front signature lights that you get on the higher trims, Outer Banks and higher. These signature LED lights that go around are just absolutely fantastic. We've loved the automatic high beams of this vehicle. Glad that it comes with that. And we have the 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine attached to the 10-speed transmission. That's twin turbo. We've really enjoyed the 330 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque, but we've driven and have been very satisfied with the 4-cylinder 2.3 liter as well. And that has 300 horsepower and 325 pound-feet of torque. Gotta love the suspension on this. Gotta love the 2.7 liter EcoBoost power. Marie's gonna be pretty sad saying bye to that. But we'll have power in the next vehicle. Do really enjoy that blow-off valve adapter. That was really worth it. Love the grab handles, the little door sill plates. Just generally really like all the major and minor things you can do to a Ford Bronco. There's just so much that you can do. We've had this for over a year, 15, 16 months, and we're not tired of it in any way whatsoever. We're actually sad, quite sad to see it go. But it's all about dollars and cents, and it doesn't make financial sense to keep the vehicle any longer. One, because, well, we've done a lot of material with the Bronco, and it's, you know, for the channel, we need other vehicles. We can't just always do the same material on the vehicle. But this has been, by far, some will say that, oh, the Bronco isn't comfortable or whatnot, but this has been the most comfortable vehicle. Of course, we have the Wild Track. It's a 2023, so it came standard with the Fox with bypass valve shocks, and they have been absolutely fantastic. We've been able to do quite a bit with this. You can drive very, very quickly through the desert or through fields. You can hit speed bumps at really high speeds and not have any issues whatsoever. The look of these, I wonder if you can actually hear that Mustang in the background, which does bring us to something other than comfort. Yes, the seats are unbelievably comfortable. The suspension on all the Broncos are very comfortable. Front suspension is independent, so a little less rock crawl flexibility, but great drivability. But yeah, we heard the Mustang outside, so there's no hiding. Everyone knows it. It's by far one of the least, you know, in regards to sound deadening and hearing the outside. Don't buy this because you want Lincoln levels of quiet. You can definitely hear the great outdoors. The great outdoors don't hear you though, so I don't have to worry about people hearing me on the outside here. But it's been overall really good. This vehicle, being that it's the best vehicle I think we've had out of 80 some vehicles. So this will get the very, very rare 10 out of 10. Now the only downside to the Bronco is they're a little expensive. So not everyone can get one, but for 2024, we're really glad to see that the base model is back. So they had cut the base model out of the 2023, 2024 lineup. The 2025 Ford Bronco has the base model coming back, so that's really great for affordability. They're all going to have all the benefits that came with the 2024s and more. So let's show you some of those. Idea of fuel economy. So the 12-inch is going to be there. You're going to continue. You're going to have a bigger digital screen here, and that will be standard. And we are getting, well, when Marie drives, 13 liters per 100 kilometers, or when I drive, that's my fault that it's up to 13.5 now. I drive it a little more, I'm a little more aggressive. These hero switches have just been great. Trail turn assist for making really tight turns, but already, if I recall, the turning radius on this is about 34.5 feet. This has one of the best turning radiuses that we've had out of a vehicle. The 2.3 liter accelerates very well. The 2.7 liter is a hair faster, but feels faster than it really is, because the twin turbo V6, the power comes on really low. So tons of fun there. Transmission's been really good to us. There's a lot of talk on the forums about 10-speed transmissions from both Ford and GM being problematic. I find that was more 2018, 19, and 20. 2020, we had the 2021 Broncos and this 2023 Ford Bronco, and no issues with the transmission in any of those. Now, we did have to have, on close inspection, we found that there was a spot in the hood where, for whatever reason, the paint had not been, and there was missing paint. But Ford was great, under warranty. They repainted the whole hood, meaning they had to put on a new Wild Track sticker as well. So that was covered by Ford. The back hinge on the vehicle for holding the tailgate, they were both like kind of spotted. There was paint covering them all, but they definitely were not, something went wrong with the paint, so they also got repainted under warranty. So Ford was really good to us for that aesthetic stuff. And they didn't try to say that, you know, the spot was a stone chip or whatnot. They were able to see that it wasn't a stone chip, so they didn't try to, you know, sneak out of covering the vehicle. Recalls, we haven't had any. The 2.7 liter recall is actually for 2.7 liters on vehicles that were assembled generally between May 2021 and October 2021. So no issues with this one. Now, the other two Broncos that we sold, would they have been touched by that recall? Yes, but of the 90,700 and some odd, 56 roughly, 2.7 liters made, not just in Broncos but other Ford models such as the F-150 as well. There's going to be likely less. Ford predicts less than 1% that actually need to have the engines swapped out, but Ford is wanting to test all of them to make sure that everyone has an excellent motor in their Ford Bronco. But honey, I think you've accepted that you're saying bye to the Bronco.
Yes, I guess yes. But I know it's only for a few months maybe, and probably we'll come back to that kind of car.
Yeah, there's good chances we'll come back to a Bronco in about a year, hopefully by then, or two. We'd like to come back to the Bronco when there's a plug-in option, so we can use it as a daily commuter, 100% electric, but still have that gasoline engine so that we can, you know, make it down to Florida or anywhere we might want to go in our travels without having to, you know, stop and charge. Florida on a Lightning would be about 22, 23 stops, so we don't want any of that jazz. Now let's take a look on the outside of the vehicle. So we are swapping mostly because we need to save money. We need to cut down on those payments, and we're going to try to get a vehicle. So stay tuned to the channel here at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. We're going to try to get a vehicle that is going to have essentially very little depreciation. It's going to be a vehicle bought new, and the new vehicle that we're going to get is going to be a vehicle that we believe, with the current discounts on it and rebates, that we're going to end up selling it for very close to the price that we purchase it, and that'll be after a year to max 2 years. But bye bye Bronco, we love you and we will see one of you again. But for now we got to focus on content for the channel and the finances, and make sure we have something that financially makes sense and that we can still do, you know, good 15-20 videos on before we're done with it. Now these LED front and rear lights have been absolutely fantastic. Love the trunk space. Looking forward to when we come back to a Bronco. It looks like now heated seats, because we're going to be looking at an either an Outer Banks or a Badlands. So heated seats and a heated steering wheel will be standard. Keyless entry as well, I believe. Check out our video talking about the 2025 changes. The Wild Track model will be gone, unfortunately. Now underneath the hood here, we've really enjoyed this little blow-off spacer. It has been really good to us, this blow-off adapter. When we shift gears, it gives a nice little BOV sound, and we've been quite pleased with that. Now we've also been really pleased with a 360 camera. That has been really useful, but something you won't like if you actually rub dirt off to get, if let's say you lick your thumb or you just rub it with a wet cloth. This has a plastic lens, and it's going to give you, on all the cameras all around the vehicle, if you rub clean them, you're really not going to like the effect it has. You won't see much after a short period of time in those cameras because the plastic will scratch. We absolutely love how tough this has been. We drove this, catch our videos, subscribe and catch our videos on the Bronco. We drove this into a very large rock. The airbags didn't go off, and we were able to just straighten that out, have it straightened out on with attachments on the floor and cranking it into place. Now we had the Wild Track. We've actually loved the power of the vehicle. We've loved most of the technology of the vehicle. The interior took quite a while getting used to because, well, I'll show you in a minute. We'll hop in, but it's unfortunate we couldn't pick the colors when it comes to the Wild Track model, which is actually canceled for 2025. Now for styling, full 10 out of 10. The engine, the 2.7 liter EcoBoost, also a 10 out of 10. We didn't have any recall issues. We did, however, and Ford was very good to us. It came delivered to us with a spot on the hood, and Ford paid to have the whole hood repainted, even a new sticker, Wild Track sticker. Really like the look of that put on. You might hate though if you don't have this covered with a product like a ceramic detailer that can go on stickers. You're probably going to hate how it gets dirty and then stays dirty, so keep that in mind. We also installed 3M tape here, and this has protected us against rocks. We've had lots of complaints about the windshield, how it's so horrible, how they're unbelievably thin. We've had no issues with that. We've actually cracked the windshield and just recently replaced it on the Shelby that's back there. And the Porsche here, the 911, has about 5. It was a new windshield, but it now has about 5 stone chips on it. But this is still stone chip free. We've actually loved that. We have absolutely loved, we have Canadian winters here, and we have found the top to be fantastic. Easy to take off. And well, it's not just that it's really easy to take off. You're in the winter, you're not going to lose a lot of heat from this, but yes, you will hear the road. If you're looking for a silent vehicle and you buy one of these, you're not going to like it. So do test drive it before purchasing. Take a good long 30-40 minute test drive to really know if you can survive and live with this top. Now, these back windows, if you wash them and you don't rinse them off properly, when you've got some dirt or sand, grime on them, and you wash them, they will scratch. Our 2021s, we've had 3 Broncos. This is our 3rd one, and we're saying goodbye for a multitude of reasons. We'll get to once we're in the vehicle. But the windows, plastic windows, do scratch really easily. Keep that in mind. You might even be buying a new one and the windows are already scratched. So check that out if they are. Ask them to switch it with another one of the rear windows that the dealership has on another model, on maybe a model that's sat out in the sun less long, because these scratch and kind of fade really easily. Let's check out the space. We absolutely love the space. We've got the baby carriage in there. We've got my gym bag. We do like how the top here can easily be popped. 2 levers and then up. Now, of course, nice and easy, not too heavy. Makes for a wider entry point. Overall space and width is fantastic. Those seats go down to have a ton of carrying capacity. Now, we've had a bit of problems with the trim. These speaker trims, you can already see it's starting to fall on the left side. That thing has been non-stop problems, but if we do a claim on it, Ford will cover that. We do like how we have the hardware here. If ever we were to throw on a hardtop, we already have the hardware for a rear window wiper. I actually did it for one of the vehicles that the dealership sold and had a top switched for the customer. And it took about 7 hours. Now, really enjoyed the keyless entry. Not available on the back doors here, but rear and front, I've got you covered. Absolutely love the styling of this vehicle. And the quality of the interior. If you want a better dash, get a 2023 or newer Badlands Bronco, because it'll be fake leather with stitching, and that will look amazing. Wish for the Wild Track you could actually pick black as an interior, but you can't. You're stuck with these colors. So let's hop in and check out the technology. All right, legroom is actually excellent. You can control, you put the seat forward, back, up, down. That's all great and dandy. Rear facing baby seat though. Now that rear space, when you've got the rear facing baby seat, makes it so you have next to no space left over for your legs. So I'm not quite 6 foot, and nonetheless, there's a lot of taller people than me, and I've banged my knees on that dash coming in many times because of how forward the seat needs to be. Otherwise, the rear seat is perfect for 2 adults, no issues whatsoever. Now, for 2025, that in the rear, we've got the little section that opens up and the cup holder. So a lot of people ask for cup holders. So now you actually have that cup holder flip down armrest on all the 2025 Ford Broncos. So that might be a reason to buy the 2025 Ford Bronco. Now, when we talk about technology, let's start it up. Now, a point I haven't liked very much is the sound. The blow off has made me a lot happier. Little adapter that costs, blow off adapter that costs next to nothing. Like it's a joke, it was about $80. So really happy with that. But the exhaust sound, there's not much. There's some engine sound. It is nice that you can hear the engine, but not so nice that you're not hearing much from the exhaust. And those are really kind of a little expensive. I don't like to spend a lot of extra money other than the vehicle payments. So that's been a dislike point. Now let's check out the tech. I've been really happy with the tech. The lane keeping has been excellent. It doesn't scream at you. It just vibrates the steering wheel and gives you a little bit of assistance back into position. And that's been great. Now, we've loved that. The digital screen here, absolutely love. And I actually like that there is still this analog system. Now for 2025, it's full digital. That's what the order guide says. Now for fuel economy, the fuel economy, considering this has 35-inch tires on the Wild Track, has been absolutely fantastic for the height of the vehicle, the weight of the vehicle, as well as the size of those tires. But don't expect any miracles. Now it's been really easy to use, to just go through all of this. 13.3 liters per 100 kilometers. You drop that into Google and ask it to convert to miles per gallon. You put 13.3 liters per 100 kilometers in miles per gallon, and it will actually give that to you. Average speed 50 kilometers an hour. That's 35 miles per hour. And as you can see, the system is really easy to use. It's completely controlled by the up down arrow, this arrow, and hitting OK. You can also give orders to the vehicle, pick up the phone, hang up the phone, play between your pre-selected favorite songs. So that's all really quite excellent. Easy to use. Cruise control on but not functioning, then set for it to function, then faster, slower, louder music, louder, less loud, turn the lane centering off. Automatic lights with automatic high and low beams at night. Absolutely fantastic. All easy to grab at, easy to find, easily identified climate controls and real buttons. So that's been an absolute joy. This here, you've got your goes over any terrain modes that you just ease. It's so easy. You turn, and it turns there. You turn and you get your different modes up on the dash. You can see all your modes there. So that's been actually really easy to use, nice to use. It plays around with all the various technology, puts you in, you know, where you need to be, whether it's 4 high, 4 low, 4 automatic. Now the 4 automatic, a little point of contention that I like a little less is that it only comes on, well, the Sasquatch models, the advanced models that cost more, and cost is a big reason why we are selling this. Now in Baja mode, it is awesome. You can drive around with that front camera that shows you your tracks, where you're going to be going. Turn the steering wheel, the tracks turn, so that way you know, yes, I will drive into that old yet clean and low mileage 911. Catch our videos on that 911, please. Now you've got your window buttons here, very practical. Your adjust mirror buttons here. Now the windows are there because, well, when you remove the doors, you still need to have switches. So really great forward facing camera. Unfortunate though that the cameras don't have a glass lens, because then they'd be much more resistant to scratches, and if they do get scratched up, you're not going to see much there at all. I see that on a lot of trades from every manufacturer. Now the hero switches, huge love point. The tech here is 10 out of 10. Everything is easy to reach inside. You can lock your front diff, you can lock your rear diff, you can even lock trail turn assist. That means you press this button and the little diagrams showing you kind of what's going to happen. It's going to lock a rear wheel. So you hit that button and you turn the steering wheel completely to the right, and then it's going to lock the rear right wheel to be able to make a right hand turn pretty much on the spot. Now that button, you'll use it if you're stuck in mud or snow, but make sure you don't overheat the engine by over revving it. It's to turn off the traction control and stability control, and then you've got your emergency lights. So everything is really easy to use, easy to find. You've got dual zone temperature, you've got your radio buttons and your climate buttons all in there, and the touchscreen is so easy to use. You just touch what you need and want. Let's put it back, get it out of Baja mode, put it into, let's say, sport mode. So turning here and getting the results on the screen. Okay, so sport mode changes the image to make things easy to follow, puts it in for a nice easy mode to kind of let the system do its own thing. Now here, the touchscreen. Let's say you're in, you know, your Apple system or Android system. You don't want to be. Really easy. You hit right there, and then you've got it. Pow, back to the Ford system. Make sure you connect with Ford Pass, because when you do connect with Ford Pass, well, you'll be able to start your vehicle at a distance, unlock it, lock it, find your vehicle. You've got your nav right here, and your Ford system, super easy. Just go through. As easy as counting to 10. You want to set your sound, you just go into the sound. Tone settings. And play around with the sound as you see fit. I usually find that's a pretty good setting for Ford systems. But really easy to use, and we've loved 10 out of 10 when it comes to easy to use technology. However, I've had the bad luck of every time I connect this and listen to a video or listen to music through my phone, let's say I want to do that, I'd hit audio, I go to clicking on my phone here, and it'll play for a few minutes, and it'll always shut off and say that the wireless connection has failed, and that's been a pretty big annoyance actually. So other than that though, the vehicle has been absolutely fantastic. We're really gonna miss it. So let's get to really the reason why we're selling it, and why would you maybe consider selling your Bronco. A lot of that comes down to well, I think the 2025 and future models, these are depreciating more than they were. So we don't have a whole lot of choice considering our situation. So on the sad news that we're mostly switching because, well, we want more space and we need more content for this car channel. It's kind of sad because we have absolutely loved our Ford Bronco, and Ford has been excellent at resolving the few little problems that we have had with the vehicle. And, you know, the expected problems such as transmission and top, the common, known, or suspected problems have really not been problems at all for us. So on that sad news, we have to say goodbye to the Bronco, but at least we're not switching because we're being forced to go electric. Remember when we lost about $37,000 owning an electric F-150 Lightning for 14 months? That hurt. So we don't want to be in that situation again as depreciation values drop. The Bronco's depreciating now, whereas before it just wasn't depreciating at all. So we have to say goodbye, but we must say thank you so much for watching, and we wish you all more cars and more power, and hope you'll catch our video on our new vehicle.